welcome back. Today, we are advancing into our fifth chapter of this massive 20-part epic documentary series to investigate one of the most brilliant in the history of optics, Sir Isaac Newton. In the late 17th century, long before the dawn of quantum mechanics, Newton isolated himself inside a pitch-dark room to perform a series of revolutionary experiments that would forever alter humanity's relationship with color. The prevailing scientific consensus of his era asserted that white light was inherently pure and that a glass prism physically corrupted or stained the rays to manufacture colors. Newton completely shattered this foundational assumption by proving that white light is not pure at all. Rather, it is a chaotic, tightly packed cocktail containing every single color of the visible spectrum. During his experiments, Newton observed that as the white beam traversed the glass prism, the medium physically bent each individual color component at a slightly different geometric angle, a phenomenon we define as chromatic dispersion. To rigorously analyze this behavior in classical physics, we utilize Cauchy's simplified dispersion formula, which dictates how light waves interact with transparent materials. The equation is written as n of lambda equals a plus b over lambda squared. To spell this out precisely for speech, the refractive index n as a function of wavelength lambda equals the material constant a plus the material constant b divided directly by the wavelength lambda squared. This mathematical relationship proves that shorter wavelengths, like violet, encounter a higher refractive index and bend much more sharply than longer wavelengths, like deep red. This precise, predictable geometric splitting of colors led Newton to make a radical, uncompromising declaration regarding the fundamental texture of our reality. He vehemently rejected the organic concept that light could be a continuous wave propagating through space. Instead, Newton confidently argued that a beam of light was composed of an immense stream of discrete, hard, unimaginably rigid particles that he officially named corpuscles. He envisioned these speeding corpuscles as microscopic projectiles flying through empty space along completely unbending linear vectors. To Newton, color was simply a physical property of the particle itself, with different-sized corpuscles triggering different color sensations in the human eye. This rigid mechanical view of illumination aimed to reduce the mystery of light down to the predictable laws of standard Newtonian billiard ball mechanics. To explain how these rigid light projectiles interacted with physical matter, Newton applied his own newly discovered laws of motion. When a corpuscle strikes a reflective mirror, it bounces off at an identical angle, maintaining its forward momentum. We map this classical collision using the standard impulse momentum equation, which is written as delta vector p equals vector f times delta t. Spelled out perfectly for text-to-speech, the change in the momentum vector p equals the net force vector f multiplied directly by the change in time delta t. Newton hypothesized that physical surfaces exerted an invisible, microscopic repulsive force that acted on incoming corpuscles over an incredibly tiny time interval delta t, cleanly reversing their perpendicular velocity while leaving their parallel motion completely untouched, creating a perfect geometric reflection. While reflection was easy to explain with a simple bounce, refraction posed a much greater challenge for Newton's corpuscular particle model. To explain why light particles bend inward when entering a dense medium like water or glass, Newton was forced to make a bizarre assumption. He claimed that the molecules of the denser medium exerted a tiny, gravitational-like attractive force on the incoming corpuscles. As the particles crossed the boundary layer, this molecular attraction pulled them inward, physically accelerating the corpuscles and changing their trajectory. This meant that Newton's classical theory made a highly specific, testable prediction. Light must travel significantly faster inside a glass of water than it does inside empty air. Newton's corpuscular theory of light spread rapidly, supported by the extraordinary influence he earned through groundbreaking achievements in gravity, calculus, and celestial mechanics. His clear particle model offered a unified, stable framework that guided optical research for generations. When Christian Huygens and others presented strong evidence for wave-like behavior, the scientific community, deeply shaped by Newton's success, continued refining the particle viewpoint, creating a focused path for early optical development. Although the wave theory took longer to gain prominence, the eventual fusion of Newton's particle insights with Huygens' wave principles became a major triumph of physics. The field ultimately benefited from both perspectives, leading to the modern understanding of light's dual nature. This absolute reliance on Newton's personal authority created a massive, century-long blind spot in classical physics. While the corpuscular model was a magnificent mathematical achievement for mapping simple mirrors and prisms, it was completely blind to more complex optical phenomena. Newton himself frequently observed strange patterns of alternating light and dark circles when pressing a curved lens against glass, an effect we still call Newton's rings. To explain why his own hard particles would spontaneously decide to reflect or transmit through the glass in a repeating pattern, Newton had to invent convoluted explanations involving invisible waves of heat. His stubborn refusal to accept that light itself was a wave forced him to overcomplicate his math, holding back the discovery of wave-particle duality that lay hidden right before his eyes. From a modern quantum perspective, Newton's clash with wave theory carries a beautiful irony. Though he rejected Huygens' ideas, his deeper intuition, that light comes in discrete packets of energy, was astonishingly ahead of its time. 2 centuries later, Einstein would revive this particle insight to reveal the photon, confirming that light can indeed strike matter like tiny bursts of energy. Newton's only limitation was the classical belief that something must be either a solid particle or a flowing wave. He could not yet imagine a quantum universe where an entity can elegantly embody both. His pioneering prism experiments ultimately became a brilliant, incomplete prologue to quantum mechanics, laying groundwork for the dual nature of light that modern physics celebrates today. We have explored Sir Isaac Newton's obsession with color, analyzed the mechanics of his corpuscular particle theory, and witnessed how his massive academic authority altered the trajectory of science for 100 years. This concludes our 5th chapter in this massive 20-part epic documentary series. Now that we have seen the rise and fall of the classical particle empire, we must prepare ourselves for the radical counterattack that completely shattered Newton's legacy. In our next episode, we will step into the 19th century to witness James Clerk Maxwell's masterpiece, exploring the unified equations that proved light is an elegant, invisible electromagnetic wave. Hit that subscribe button right now, turn on your notifications, and prepare your mind, because the classical world is about to be completely electrified.